Heyo, it's Tozzarino. Happy Halloween, baby! It's the time of year where everyone dresses spooky and they put scary looking decorations up, and kids come to your door asking for candy and shit, and you have to give them candy, otherwise they'll burn your house down. It's the Halloween special. So today I'm going to be revisiting something, but this isn't going to be something from childhood. This is revisiting something from my teen years, which I'm still technically in. You guys remember Ghostbusters, right? The original 1980s classic. It's one of the greatest comedies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's this wonderful piece of fiction. It's brilliant. I'm not talking about that movie. I'm talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters. So for context, I was about 14 or so when this movie came out, and boy howdy, I remember the internet controversy of this movie. The fact that this thing existed upset like hundreds of thousands of people. The trailers received a lot of dislikes at the time. I think they still have a lot of dislikes. I saw this movie with my grandmother, and I remember at the time thinking, you know what, that could have been bad. Keep in mind, I was 14 and very stupid, okay? So keep that in mind. But I hadn't seen it since, right? And yeah, I do own it on DVD, but that's only because it came in a pack with the first two Ghostbusters movies, and the pack was cheaper than just getting like the first two on their own. So I've had it, and I haven't watched it. So I decided, you know what? It's Halloween. It's the spooky season. I'm gonna rewatch the 2016 Ghostbusters movie to see if it's as bad as I remember it being. I'm just gonna spoil the whole video right here and now. It sucks. It sucks. It's not a good movie. It's not a particularly good movie. Yeah, I'm going to try my best not to do this, but I am going to compare this to the original quite a bit. When I set out to make this, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to talk about it as its own thing, because I think that reboots and remakes should be viewed as a separate thing. But I'm going to keep comparing it to the original, so I'm sorry, but that's just how it's going to be, I guess. Yeah, on a basic level, it's the same as the original. But it's also not the same as the original. Also, it's trying to be like a few different things at once. It's trying to start a franchise. I remember at the time there were rumors and speculation that this was going to lead to like a weird franchise, like a Marvel-style franchise. I still have, like, a magazine from the time that had an article talking about the projects that were coming up, and they were really riding on this being a franchise at the time, which is funny, because nothing's happened with the 2016 Ghostbusters. It's practically dead. Yeah, so now we're gonna talk about the characters of the movie. Oh boy, I gotta be honest, I can't remember any of their names. I'm just gonna call them by their actors. So we have Melissa McCarthy, who is a scientist. She's kind of, I guess, the Dan Aykroyd of the movie, in the sense that she's a scientist, but she's a little goofy. A lot of her comedy is, like, her falling over and her being knocked around. There's, like, a whole bit where they're testing proton packs, and she's just flailing all over the place. It's a bit of wacky antics. Why not, lad? Why not? We've got Kirsten Wiig, who I guess is the main character, I think. She's disgraced at the beginning of the movie. Kirsten Wiig is doing the classic Kirsten Wiig stuff, which, whatever, cool, I guess. We got Kate McKinnon playing the wacky Egon-esque character, but she's not really the Egon, because she's just as wacky, if not wackier, than the other Ghostbusters. And then we have Leslie Jones playing the Winston character. And she's meant to be like the normal person coming into this weird world of ghosts. And she's loud and whatnot. She's fun. If I had to say, I think Leslie Jones is my favorite out of the Ghostbusters in this version, just because she's not another wacky scientist. Yeah, she's like a wacky person, but I don't know, she's kind of funny. There's some decent bits with her, I think. But yeah, the four leads, big problem. They're not particularly interesting. They're either weird scientist or normal person who's loud. We also have Chris Hemsworth playing the secretary character in this version, and he doesn't make any fucking sense. He's supposed to be dumb, and he's so dumb that he can't function in society. It'd be fine if he was just dumb, like if he was just like a himbo or something, but this man is actually, there's something wrong with him. Apparently a lot of the jokes in this were improvised, which is just wonderful. Look, improv can work, but like, build a foundation first, please, God. The film also features cameos from some of the original cast. Dan Aykroyd shows up at some point. It's painful. Bill Murray has an extended cameo, where he's like a guy who doesn't believe in ghosts, and then he gets killed by a ghost. That's kind of funny. Ernie Hudson shows up. It's like, Leslie Jones's uncle or something. Very cool. Thanks, Ghostbusters 2016. I will admit, I'll say, there's one thing I genuinely do enjoy about this film, and that's, I think the design of the ghosts and the CGI on the ghosts look pretty good for the most part. The ghosts are really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I enjoyed about the movie. Everything else kind of sucks. The villain. Shit, I should probably mention the villain. So, comparatively speaking, the villains of the original two movies are pretty good. Even Vigo. And I'm not a huge fan of Ghostbusters 2, but Vigo's a pretty decent villain. And Gozer. Let's talk Gozer. Can we talk Gozer? Gozer's fantastic, man. Gozer is like really cool in concept and in execution. This weird, like, almost David Bowie-esque villain. And cool shit, right? You remember Gozer. Granted, Gozer wasn't in a whole lot of the movie, but you remember Gozer because Gozer had an impact on the story. Gozer had an interesting kind of design and appearance and motivation. And, you know, it's cool seeing the Ghostbusters interact with this weird interdimensional god. In the 2016 movie, the villain is this weird guy named Rowan, he's the only character whose name I remember. His name is Rowan. And he's a weird guy. I can't remember a single thing about him other than that his name is Rowan, and that's it. That's all. I don't have anything to go off of. He's in more of the movie than Gozer, I think, but he leaves less of an impact because there's nothing memorable about him at all. He's an uninteresting character. Good job. Well done. I guess I should talk about the controversy, I guess? So, from what I remember of the controversy, because I can't really be asked to look it up, is that people were upset because women were the Ghostbusters, and women can't be Ghostbusters, even though women were Ghostbusters in the past, because, you know, look at Extreme Ghostbusters. That's a flashback for you. You guys remember Extreme Ghostbusters? I do. I watched it a few times. I had it on DVD for a little while. Yeah, women can be Ghostbusters. I think the real problem with Ghostbusters 2016 is that it just sucked. In theory, getting these really funny comedic actresses to be Ghostbusters is fun and interesting, right? Melissa McCarthy is a Ghostbuster. That's really funny. That could be really funny. Kate McKinnon is a Ghostbuster. That could be really funny. You know what I mean? They could all be really, really funny given the right thing. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I feel like they're all trying to one-up each other to see who can be the funniest. Doesn't really work. A lot of scenes are just them bantering with each other. Doesn't really work. Doesn't really work at all. Not funny. But if you want to Ghostbusters 3, go and play the Xbox video game, because that was actually really good. It recently got remastered. You can play it right now. It's good. It features all the voices of the Ghostbusters, including Harold Ramis, because this came out before his passing. So go play that if you want a good Ghostbusters 3. If you want to hate yourself and Hollywood as an industry, go watch the 2016 movie. And if you don't want to do either of those, go and watch the original 2, I guess. I don't know. I'm definitely going to watch the original 2 to cleanse my palate after this goddamn waste of, 2 hours, I guess. It sucks. It sucks. It's a bad movie. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but it's a bad movie. It's not good. Very bad. Poopy stinky. Poopy stinky. I'm losing my mind. There was probably a more concise video in there somewhere. Yeah, I'm not going to call this Revisiting Ghostbusters. I'm going to call it something else. But, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm going to put up an end screen now, if I remember to. Have fun. Stick around. Subscribe. I'm going to be talking about other Ghostbusters stuff, too, because I feel like it. Bye.